Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your brother Wild Israelite from the tribe of Issachar, and today we're just going to go over just a short Bible study on the Lord's Day. Okay, we're going to show you through scriptures that the Lord's Day is on Saturday and not Sunday, because you know there's a lot of Christians out there, guys. Be careful. There are a lot of Christians out there. It doesn't matter what denomination you are, whatever you guys are. Okay, are sitting there saying that we should keep Sunday holy instead of Saturday, because a lot of Christians nowadays are worshiping the devil's day, which is Sunday. Okay, they're not knowing. Some people, okay, some people are doing it out of ignorance, and some people do know that the Lord's Day is Saturday and not Sunday. Okay, so we're just gonna go through some scriptures from Genesis to Revelations. Okay, we're going to see what the prophets said. We're going to see what Christ said. We're going to see what the true modern day disciples are going to be doing. Okay, so turn with me to Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 2 verse 1. It says, "The heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it." Okay? God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, which means set apart. Okay? Because that in which he had rested from all his work which God created and made. Okay? God created and made. Okay, so the Most High, Ahaya, okay, he made the heavens and rested on the Sabbath day, which is Saturday. Okay, all right, let's go to Exodus chapter 20, and we will look at verse 8. It says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." Why does it say to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy? Because a lot of our people are attending Sunday and they forgot about Saturday. Okay, they're sitting there saying, "Oh, we come together because we fellowship on the first day of the week. Oh, we come in because we bring tithes and offerings on the first day of the week. Oh, blah 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 this and blah 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 that." Okay, they'll take you to Matthew chapter 28 verse 1. Okay, upon the first day of the week, so and so and so. Okay, don't be deceived. Don't be lied to. Okay, I'll read it to you guys one more time. It says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." Okay? To keep it holy. Alright, so let's go to, we're going to keep going down, but there's a precept I want to get for you guys. It's Romans chapter 7. Romans chapter 7, and we will look at verse 12. And it says, "Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and good." Okay? Let's go back to Exodus 20 verse 8. It says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." Keep what holy? Let's go back to Romans chapter 7 verse 12. Okay? "Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and good." So it is good and it is holy that we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Okay? It is perfect. Okay, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20. Alright, so I'm just letting you guys know, okay? The true prophets are coming back. Okay? And no, you Gentiles are not prophets. The prophethood came through the loins and the fleshly parts of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? So if you're a Gentile and you're calling yourself a prophet, you're a false prophet. Okay? And maybe we'll have to do that, a Bible study one of these days. How can you tell the difference between a true and a false prophet? Okay, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20. See if I can get there real quick for you guys. And in our next couple of videos, okay, I'm going to be bringing out some fire for you guys. Okay? I'm going to be bringing out that fire for you guys. especially for you 10 tribes, the house of Israel. Okay, I've been studying and doing a lot of work. Come on, Ezekiel 20. All right, so Ezekiel chapter 20. All right. So we're going to Ezekiel chapter 20, okay? Ezekiel chapter 20. All right. Ezekiel chapter 20. And we will look at verse 20. We'll look at verse 13 first. Okay? So verse 13, it says right here, Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 13 through 20. And it says right here, but the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I would say, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness and consume them. But I wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted before thee, before the heathen, and whose sight I brought them out. Yet also I lifted up my hand unto them in the wilderness, that I would not bring them into the land which I have given them, flowing with milk and honey, which is in the glory of all lands. Verse 16 says, because they despised my judgments and walked not in my statutes, but polluted my Sabbaths, for their hearts went after idols. Nevertheless, my eyes spared them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness. But I said unto the children in the wilderness, walk ye not in the statutes of your fathers. So this is talking to you right now, present day Israel. Okay? Verse 18, it says, but I say unto the children in the wilderness, walk ye not in the statutes of your fathers, neither observe their judgments, nor defile yourselves with their idols. 19, it says, I am the Lord your God, walk in my statutes and keep my judgments and do them. Verse 20 says, and hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am the Lord your God. Okay? So, we're going through the scriptures, okay? And we're looking, right? We're seeing what the Most High said, okay? We're seeing what Moses said. We're seeing what the prophets are saying. Okay, now let's go to Isaiah 58. Let's go see what another prophet says about the Sabbath, okay? So Isaiah chapter 58, we look at verse 13. It says, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and thou shalt honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words. Okay? So, we're all guilty of this one right here. Even myself. Okay? I'm guilty of this one as well, because, there's times where, where family just comes in all of a sudden, they want to do this and do that, but also, I'm always helping people out on the Sabbath day by taking them, because, they don't have a car or whatnot, so I'm helping them out get groceries for their household, okay? So you got to exercise the grace when it comes to keeping the Sabbath day holy, okay? All right, so let's see what Christ says. So everything I just read to you guys, okay? From Genesis to Exodus, okay, to Ezekiel, to Isaiah, okay? All that I just read to you guys, okay? Now let's go see what Christ said. Everything I just read to you guys. Remember what I just read to you guys, okay? Matthew chapter 5 verse 17 says, think not. Think not. Don't even have a thought process in your mind. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So this is Christ speaking right here, okay? So everything I just read to you guys over here, okay, in the Old Testament, remember, Christ says, I come not to destroy the law which Moses gave his people, or the prophets, Moses, Ezekiel, Isaiah, everything I just read, okay? He didn't come to destroy those sayings or anything, but to fulfill. Okay? So let's look at verse 18. It says, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. Are we still on earth? Is there still a heaven out there when we look? Yes. Okay? For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Okay? So this is for you fake, phony Christians out there saying that the law is done away with. You are absolutely wrong, and yes, y'all going to be put in your place with kindness and respect, because we're taking our book back, right? And this is our book. We're going to take it back. All right? So look at verse 19, okay? Whosoever there shall break one of these least commandments. Are you breaking the Sabbath day, pastors? Yes, I'm talking to you, pastors. All you Sunday church pastors. Are you breaking one of these least commandments? Because this is so easy. Okay, even in the first book of John, or so and so, it says that the law is not grievous. It's not hard to do these things. It's not hard. Okay, but whosoever there shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. So all you pastors, all you Christians, all you people out there, YouTube preachers, or whatever you want to call yourself, okay, if you're teaching everybody out there in the world that the law is done away with, that we should go to church on Sunday, y'all gonna be the least in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? But it says right here, but whosoever shall do and teach them, what kind of things do we have to do? We have to keep the Sabbath day holy. We have to keep the Levitical chapter 11 law, not eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. Yes, that's about doing something, right? Okay, check this out. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Do you want to be called great in the kingdom of heaven? Because if you do, I advise you to preach the truth coming out from this scripture. Because John chapter 14 verse 6, Josiah says unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And the life, what is the doctrine of life? To keep the commandments. What is it in Ecclesiasticus and your Apocrypha 19 and 19? This is the first step. Okay? It is the first step. Is to keep the commandments and have the doctrine of life. Okay, go look at that life video I did. Okay? Alright, so let's go to Acts 13 real quick. Acts 13. Alright, so we went and saw what the Most High wanted us to do on the Sabbath day. We went and saw what the prophets want us to do on the Sabbath day. We went and saw what Christ wanted us to do on the Sabbath day. Now we're going to go see what the apostles want us to do on the Sabbath day, okay? So Acts chapter 13, verse 14. And it says right here, but when they departed from Perga, they came into Antioch and Pisidia, and went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and sat down. Okay, so they went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day. Okay, we'll stay in Acts chapter 13. Go all the way down to verse 40. Go to verse 42. Okay. So Acts chapter 13 verse 42, and it says, and when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached unto them the next Sabbath. The next Sunday? No, the next Sabbath, which is Saturday. These Gentiles, like Cornelius, okay? I give much respect to Cornelius than most of you Gentiles out there, okay? Because this man feared the Most High, and he was a Gentile. Okay? Verse 43, and it says, now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious prophesites followed them. Paul and Barnabas, who speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High. Okay, verse 44 says, and the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of the Most High. Woo! Verse 44, and the next Sabbath, the whole entire city came to hear the word of the Most High. Okay? Everybody. Alright, so now we're going to see what the true Christians of the Bible, okay, are doing. So this is a true Christian, okay? So if you're a phony Christian, you're keeping Sunday holy, okay? You're not a Christian, okay? You might as well just be like an atheist or whatever, okay? So we went and saw what the Most High wanted us to do. We went and saw what the prophets want us to do. Christ, the apostles. Now we're going to see what the true believers, the disciples of Christ are doing today. Okay? Revelation chapter 12. Okay? Revelation chapter, let me see. So this is what's going on, right? Revelation chapter 12, verse 17, and then we're going to go to 14. And it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and that had the testimony of Christ. Okay?